Hey, you've got hopes, goals, and dreams. And you know what? I'm going to talk about achieving those dreams by doing this one thing right now on the front.
Thanks for tuning in to Lead the Teams, The Front.
Yes, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in and join me today. My name is Mike Phillips and I will be your host. This is The Front, and today's topic, I'm talking about achieving your dreams by doing this one thing. Now, if this is your first time here, do me a favor, make sure you hit that subscribe button and then click the bell so you get notified when I'm listing new episodes or when I go live. And also, I'm going to ask you early on, if you've got a goal that you want to achieve, if you have a dream that you've been chasing, I would be honored if you would share that in the comments down below with us, and I'd love to continue the conversation with you after the video. Now, so often people have these great ideas and they've got this passion and fire and they've got goals that they want to accomplish and they've got dreams that they want to see come to fruition. And sometimes we fall short, don't we? Now, why is that, you may ask? You know, it's not because they didn't have the hopes and dreams. It's not because they weren't electric and fired up about something. So often it's because we never start. We don't take consistent action on that thing that we want to see come to life. Now, prior to taking action, before you just start running really fast in one direction, what you got to do, you've got to get clarity, total clarity, single point clarity on what it is that you want. Consider this: if you're not specific on what it is that you want for an outcome, you're still going to achieve an outcome, but it's probably not going to look exactly like you want it to look. So you have to get clarity before you take action. So here, I'm going to share with you what works for me. This is just 3 steps. I keep it really, really simple. Number 1 is I start by writing down a plan. I mean, I physically write down or type out a plan. Like even when I'm planning videos like this, if I want to see a video come to fruition, I at least have some bullet points on what it is that I want to accomplish from start to finish in the video. And I mean, actually, you have to get your ideas from inside here to out into the real world. You just start writing. And when you start writing, then it becomes real. You start to justify that it is real to yourself. You start to see it. You start to look at it and go, oh, hey, there's my paper. Here's the things that I've started to write down. And your brain starts to get wired to the fact that it is coming out into the real world, and that goal, that dream that you want to have happen is really starting to become a reality. You can wire yourself that way just by starting to put it down on paper. The second thing that I do, review the plan, right? Once I start to write it down, it's okay to have a little bit of editing, but review it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then tell someone else about it. Not necessarily because I want an opinion, because other people's opinions will stop you from accomplishing what it is that you want to do. So you're sharing it with them simply to continue getting it out there, to continue creating a reality. As you start executing, that person can ask you, hey, are you getting closer towards your thing? Are you getting closer towards your goal? They can have these checkpoints for you, and it will, again, with that continued wiring, it's going to help propel you forward. Now, if the plan changes, if you find out that it's not working, you have to go back to them and you got to tell them, hey, turns out it wasn't working, so I'm shifting and adjusting, because otherwise you start colliding and you start beating yourself up on why you haven't accomplished that. So that goes back to the clarity. You have to be clear in your communication with yourself, and if you have someone that's helping to hold you accountable. Here's the third thing: you got to start. Each and every day, consistent action towards what it is that you want to move towards. You got to start taking action towards it. And when you do, you'll be blown away, because 5 minutes will turn into 15, will turn into an hour. And if you spend an hour a day working on that goal at the end of the month, you're going to have 30 hours accumulated and be much closer in what it is that you want to accomplish. Now, you didn't think that at the beginning. You thought, well, I'm just going to invest this hour. But over time, those hours build up and you can really accomplish a lot. See, so often people get caught up in the planning portion and then reviewing the plan and then planning and reviewing the plan and then planning. And you get the idea because they say, well, I got to have this perfect thing that I put out. But keep in mind, a perfect plan that's never executed on, you're never going to see come to fruition. You're never going to see the result. So do your planning, review your plan and share it with somebody, and then start. So let me give you a few examples. If you want to be a writer, you want to be an author, start writing. Pick up a pen or sit down at the computer and start. If you want to be a YouTuber, you want to create videos, make a video. You've got phones and cameras and all of these different options and opportunities. You hear many creators that say this is the best time in history for creators to be able to do that. And I really believe that. If you want to speak in public, start speaking. Public is subjective, right? Speaking in public, you could start speaking in front of 2 or 3 people and continue to improve your craft until you're in front of 2,000 or 3,000. If you want to be an artist, pick up a paintbrush. Whatever that thing is that you want to do, start working towards it. Start immediately. Start executing. So that really is key. You got to start wherever you are. Moving towards something that you're really fired up about, that you're really passionate about, that excites you and ignites you. The sooner you start, the sooner you're going to get closer to accomplishing that. If you didn't do it already, I would love for you to share what some of your current goals are. Just share them in the comments down below. And I will tell you what, if you have somebody else that needs to hear this message, share the video with them. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today on this episode of The Front. And until we speak next, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. We'll talk to you soon, everybody.